So inshallah we're going to start Bismillah Rahman and Rahim. So we did some basic last week, and on that and those basic rules we are going to build some more and learn some ayahs of Surah AlJumua. So just to recall a few things that we will definitely need today is we learn harf jar, and these are just simple prepositions like fi, min, bi, and fi means in, min means from, and bi means with. So we'll make a lot of use today. Okay. The rule was that whenever a word comes after any of these, for example, Allahu, the effect of these is it changes the last letter Allahu to Allahi. Okay. Always the last letter changes from Allahu or Al-Kitabo to Al-Kitabi. So that is the effect of these letters. Okay, we'll go into the details of some of those. The other thing that we will be focusing is the word Al. Al means the, and you can pronounce Alif and Lam like this way. When you have a word like Kitab, actual full word is Kitabun. Always when you make a noun, last letter, which is in this case ba, will have two dhammas and the sound will be noon. So this word is actually, full Arabic word is kitabun, okay, sound of noon. Kitabun means a book, any book, okay? But when you put al before that, it becomes al, and you can write down together. But the effect of al is it removes one dhamma and the word becomes al-kitabu, no more kitabun. We will see a lot of the examples of that. The difference between this is a book, any book, common noun, but this is the book. So whenever you see the word starting with al, it means you are talking about something particular, something definite, something proper. Okay? So in this case, we are using the word al-kitabu. Now we are going to learn one more thing, which is if I have the word kitabun, for example, full word is always kitabun, and I'm just going to write down the book, and it is a book, any book, okay? And if I have another word here, for example, Allahu, okay, and in English we just call Allah. Now these are two independent words, two separate words. Kitabun and Allahu, they have no relation to each other. But if I want to make a relationship between these two words, in English, I can put the word of in between, and now they're related. Book of Allah. Okay? So in English, we just put the word off in between. What do we do in Arabic to bring the concept of and relate these two words? More than one thing has to be done. Always the last letter in this is ba, and in this case last letter is ha. This is the word kitabun. So what we do here, we do first thing, we just remove one dhamma, one page, and it becomes kitabu. Second thing happens is we take the last letter of this word and change Dhamma to a Kasra. Zair. Okay? Two changes we have to make to bring the meaning of here. Then the third thing we do, we read them together. Okay, reading them together means combine this with this word. And what we do not pronounce this alif in between, and ba will be combined with the lam. Okay, so it will become Kitabullahi. Okay, it will become Kitabullahi. Okay. So the final word will be equal to Kitabu and Allahi. Okay. Now what we are doing, we are not pronouncing this alif in between. The sound of alif goes away. So what we do to get rid of the sound of alif, instead of the fatah and all this, we put a small swad on it. This small swad. Whenever in the Quran you will see between two words a alif with a small swad on it, which means do not pronounce that alif. So the word is Kitabullahi. This is very important. We will be using this concept, combining two words together, two nouns together, making a relationship between them by putting off in between, and then dropping the sound of alif. So Kitabullahi is the full word, Book of Allah. Okay. So these are the rules. I just went over them because we will be using them, a lot of them today. Now, last time we did a breakdown of A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. Today we are going to look at the word starting Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Okay. As I mentioned that 99% of the Arabic words start with three letters. Okay. And then we make the nouns and verbs and everything out of those three letters. So I'm going to use these three letters today: Seen, Mim, and Waw. These are just three letters, independent letters, separate letters: Seen, Mim, and Waw. Now in Arabic, if I start with these three letters and drop Waw and put an alif in the beginning, so this word will become alif, Seen, and Mim. These three letters. If I put a sound of kasra, alif, sukoon on this, and always last letter will have two dhammas, two pesh, the sound of noon. Ismun. Ismun means a name. Ismun in Arabic means a name. Okay? And you can imagine what I'm driving to is this word here. Okay? Now, because in this ayat we are going to read, there is another word coming which has the same root letters. This time, if I take these two letters, Seen, Mim, and put an alif, Sama, and pronounce it Sama'un, last letter will have Dhamma. This means sky. Sama'un means anything which is above the earth. Okay. So this is sky. Okay. And we will need this word today. So from the same root three letters, Seen, Ma, Mim, and Waw, we created a word Ism. When I stop, I can pronounce Ism, but if I don't stop, this full word is Ismun, which means name. Sama Sama'un means sky. We will need this word later. Now, I want to use this rule here we just learned of putting off in between. So I start with the word ismun. Ismun, and the other word I'm using Allahu. Okay. So the meaning here is name and Allah. These are the two words that we have now. Ismun means name, and the word Allahu is the full word. Okay. Now I want to make a relationship between these two words, which we just learned, put an off in between, and it became name of Allah in English. In Arabic, what we do, we look at the first word and change these two dhammas to one. Okay. On the second word, we look at the last letter and change this dhamma to a kasra. Okay. Now you have to read them together. Okay. As I said, when we read them together, we do not pronounce this alif. So the word becomes Ismullahi. Ismullahi. Okay. So this word became name of Allah. Okay. And the word became Ismullahi. Okay. So the sound on the last letter changed in both cases. Okay. I also mentioned that alif, when it is not pronounced, it has this fatha and hamza. It will change into a small swad, which means do not pronounce this alif. Okay. There are two kinds of prints that are read in the Quran. One print is called Uthmani print, which is printed in all the Middle Eastern countries. The other print is called Nastaliq, which is the print is printed. The Quran is printed in Indo-Pakistan, Iran, Indonesia, and some other countries. In the print of the Quran, which is printed in the Middle Eastern countries, they write down this small swat there, which means they are telling you don't recite this alif. In the Indo-Pak print, they don't put anything there. They just leave alif alone without any harkat. Same thing, it's just two different representation of this alif here. In either case, do not pronounce the alif. Now, so the word means Ismullahi, name of Allah. Okay? Now, I'm going to put a harf jar, B. Okay? We just learned B is a word which means with, and when B comes before a noun, it has some effect. Okay? For example, Allahu, when you put B before that, is come billahi. Always last letter is affected. So what happens? B, this is a noun. When I put this B before that, this will change to kasra. Okay? And then you read together. Don't pronounce alif. Bismillahi. With the name of Allah. Okay. Bismillahi means with the name of Allah. Very important. Harakats are very important because we went through the rules of combination and grammar. The thing which is not mentioned in the beginning is I start with the name of Allah. That I start is in the brackets, in the parentheses. Okay? So the meaning of Bismillahi is I start, parentheses, with the name of Allah or in the name of Allah. In English, both are okay. So that is how Bismillah is put together with going through all these rules of the grammar. Okay. Now let's look at the next two words, Rahman and Rahim. Okay. Okay. The root letters that we start are these three, Ra, Ha, and Mim. Okay. The meaning of these three letters is to have mercy. Okay. To show mercy or to have mercy. Rahmat. Okay. So these are the root letters. Now, I'll give you an example. In English, you have a word to do. Okay? If you want to make a word of a person who is doing something, in English we just add ER at the end, doer. Okay? If this person is a simple doer, we call him doer. But if this person is working very hard, he is still a doer, but we try to add some other words in front of it to represent he's a hard worker or hard doer or labor or all those things. So we add other words in English, okay? But in Arabic, to bring the qualities, we just modify the same three root letters a little bit, okay? And I'll give you an example. The meaning Arabic words are fa, and lam. Fa'ala. Fa'ala means to do. Now, if I take these three letters and combine them together, and write down as fa'ilun. So what I did here, I added alif here. This becomes a doer. Someone who is doing something. Doer. Okay? Now, instead of alif, I want to put something else. And this time, I'm going to put a ya instead of alif, fa, ain, ya, and lam. Fa'ilun. This is also a doer. But there is a difference in these two words. This word has intensity in it. Intensity of action. A lot of doing. Fa'ilun. Okay? Now let's take the example. If the three root letters are Ain, Lam, and Mim, and the meaning of those three letters is to know. Ain, Lam, and Mim. If I put in alif here, it will become like alim. Alim is, or alimun is a person who knows. He goes to school, he gets a degree, he becomes alim. Okay? But if I use this rule here, this word will become alim. Alimun. This word has the intensity of knowledge. You cannot go to a college and get a degree of alim, because alim is the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has the intensity of knowledge, so we call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala al-alim, the one who has the intensity of the activity. Okay? So that is the meaning of quality of this word fa'il, and we have a lot of words, alim, qadir, azim, all those words have the intensity in them. Azim means who is the most great. Alim is the most knowledgeable. Okay? Rahim, that's the word we are looking. Rahim, the most merciful. Okay, so that's the word in the Quran here. Okay? Rahim. Okay? And we also learned that when you put al before that, it becomes the. So it becomes al rahimu. The first time you make the word, it will be rahimun. Always when you make the first time, kitabun, rahimun, then you put al will remove one dhamma, so it will become al-rahimu. And when you pronounce, you don't pronounce lam, ar-rahimu, the intensity of the mercy, intensity of the rahmah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the intensity, the utmost, the most mercy towards his creation. Okay, so that is the meaning of ar-rahimu. Okay, I just want to write down because we will be doing one more thing here, explanation. So the word, first time when we create the word, it becomes rahimun. Rahimun. Okay. Then we put al before that. Okay. Al removes one dhamma, so it becomes rahimu. When we pronounce, we don't pronounce lam, but ra twice, becomes ar rahimu, the most merciful. Okay. The last letter is on the meme and there is a dhamma on that. Just keep that in mind. This last letter has a dhamma on, becomes lam does that. Al does that. Okay. So keep this word rahimu. Then we want to look another word. As I said, if I have these three letters, and this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to combine these three letters like this and put alif and noon at the end. Okay. So when we put a ya, it becomes intensity. But when we put alif and noon, what does it do to the word? Okay. It becomes like fa'lan. This is also a doer, but what kind of work this name or this does? When a word is made at the wazn of fa'lan, alif noon, it becomes a doer who will do so much for you, regardless if you care or if you don't care, if you're thankful or you're not thankful. When you put alif and noon at the end, then the word has the quality that he will do so much to you without requiring any payment. Okay? So if I have the three letters, this one, and I make the word here, it becomes Rahman. Okay? What is the meaning of Rahman? Rahman is the one who is doing so much mercy to you, even if you thankful. If you do kufr with him, he will still be merciful to you. That is the sifat of Rahman. Sifat of Rahman is he is showering his mercy regardless. So that is Rahman.
It's like continuously.
Continuously, yes, regardless of you respond positively or don't respond. He will continue doing his mercy, his rahmah, because his sifat here is Rahman. When he was Rahim, it was a lot of mercy he was showing, a lot of rahmat. So these are the actual meanings of these words, Rahman and Rahim. Okay? I will give you an example of a couple of other words. There is a word tufan, which is generally translated as hurricane. Intense rain, lot of rain, regardless who is in the path, who is in the way, keeps coming. Similarly, there is a word tughyan. Tughyan is a flood. When the flood comes, it doesn't care what's in the path. So Rahman is the sifat that it doesn't care if you thank him or you don't thank him. You believe in him or you don't believe in him. He will continue doing his showering of his rahmat and mercy. So that is the very fundamental, deep difference in the formation of the words. We just translate Rahim, merciful, and Rahman, beneficent, or any other word we just use, gracious or anything. But these are the deeper meanings, that difference between Rahman and Rahim. Now, similarly, if I make the word Rahman and put al, so Rahmanun, when I create the word first time, always two dhammas. So the full word is Rahmanun, like Rahimun. Then you go and put al before that. Okay? That will remove one dhamma and become al Rahmanu. When you pronounce, you don't pronounce lam. It becomes ar Rahmanu. Ar Rahmanu. Now notice something here. The word here is Rahimu and Rahmanu. Okay? This word, 4 words start with Bismillahi. Okay? I start in the name of Allah, and Allah was Allahi. Okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to take the word Allahi out of there and plug in the Rahmani there. So the meaning will be, I started with the name of the one who is most merciful, continuous merciful, regardless. So what this mechanism is called? Badal. Badal means exchange. I took the word Allahi and exchanged with the word Rahmanu. The word was Rahmanu. Did you notice why it became Rahmani there? Because Allah was Allahi. So when you change something, you plug in with the same characteristic. Okay? So even though the word is Rahmanu, but when I'm exchanging with the word Allahi, it will become Rahmani. That's the rule of exchange. Okay? Similarly, now I'm taking the word Allahi and putting Ar-Rahimu there, it will become Ar-Rahimi. So this rule is called the rule of Badal. Because it's the same individual here. All 3 of them are same. So I can start with the name of Allah, or I can start with the name of Rahman, or I can start with the name of Rahim, or I can start with all 3 of them. So this rule is called the rule of Badal. If you take one word and plug in the other word, it has to follow the same rule. The rule was that last letter was a kasra there, so this has to change to kasra. Rahmano has to change to Rahmani, and Rahimu has to change to Rahimi. When you stop here, then Mim, which has a kasra, its sound will change to a sukoon. Rahim. In the tilawat, if you notice that if you are listening to any qari or any recitation, when they stop at the last letter here, and instead of pronouncing this kasra, they pronounce like there was a sukoon there. What they do, the previous letter, which is ya, they stretch on that one. Rahim, Dalin. So last letter, when there's a ya, they stretch on that. This is just to rhythm, to bring the beauty in the in the sound. When you stop, you say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. If you don't want to stop, you can say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim yusabbihu lillahi. You can continue. Okay? So the choice is yours. Okay? So that is the meaning of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Okay? So now let's go and learn something else. Okay? So in Arabic, as I keep mentioning, that words start with 3 letters. So I'm going to take these 3 letters, and ayn, lam, and mim. These 3 letters, when they are written in this order, first ayn, then lam, and mim, the meaning of it is to know. Okay? Ilm, knowledge, ayn, lam, and mim means to know. Okay? These are 3 letters. Okay? Ayn, lam, and mim. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a letter, middle letter, with a shadda. Okay? Shadda means lam is being pronounced now 2 times. Okay? So if this word is alama, this will be allama. Okay? What's the meaning of allama? Allama means to teach. In English or any other language, we have to use 2 separate words for knowing something and teaching something, but they are related to one another. Because here, in this word, there are 2 people involved in there. One is the one who is teaching, and the other person is the one who is knowing or learning. Okay? In this word, ayn, lam, mim, one person is enough. Alama, he knew, he knows. But when you say allama, he teaches, for example, 2 people will be there. One will be the one who is teaching, one will be the learning. Without the other person, he cannot teach. Okay? So this is the way of making bigger words in Arabic. There are 10 different rules. Okay? And we will learn as some of them come, but this is rule number 2. The rule number 2 is that from the basic 3 letters, you can make a bigger word by adding a shadda in the middle here. So alama and allama. Okay? Now, last time we learned that if we have 3 letters, and we add a ya in the beginning with the fatha. Okay? This brings the meaning of he and present. Last week we learned, and just the word we were using was fa, and lam, fa'ala, yaf'alu, he does. In this case, we have these 3 letters. So I'm going to just put ya'lamu. If I put a ya in the beginning and pronounce the 3 letters, ya'lamu, it is the 3rd person he, and present tense is knows. So the meaning is he knows. Alama, ya'alamu, he knows. Okay? But I want to make the same word and translate in English. I want to say he teaches. I want to make the Arabic of he teaches. That means a 3rd person and present tense. Okay? So when I make this word, I have to use these letters here. Okay? So I put a ya in the beginning, and ayn, lam, and mim. Okay? Because ya brings the concept of 3rd person and present tense. So if I put a ya in the beginning of these three letters, it brings the concept of he, third person, and present tense teaches. But the only difference is that the harakats are different. This has a dhamma and this has a fatha this way. Yo allimu. This was ya alamu. So when you have a bigger word, you want to make a present tense, you still put a ya, but harakats are somewhat different. In this case, you have ya with a fatha, but here ya with a dhamma. Yu'allimu means he teaches. So what is the information here? He means third person and teaches is a present tense. So two important things, third person masculine and present tense. So keep this rule in mind. This is a very simple rule to remember. Third person and present tense is ya. Okay? If three letters, then it is ya alamu. If it is a shadda, it is yo allimu. Okay, and we will keep the repetition of these rules. So keeping this one in mind, I'm going to take the three letters. Seen, ba and ha. These three letters. Okay? The meaning of these three letters, one of the meanings is to float or to swim. If something is floating in the air, this word is used, or someone is swimming, this word is used. Now I'm going to do the same rule here. Take the middle letter and put a shadda on that. This will be pronounced as sabbaha. Ba is coming twice, right? The meaning of this word is to glorify. To do tasbih, to praise, to remember. Sabbaha means to praise, to do tasbih. Sabbaha.
Does it have anything to do with without shadda word? Like float?
Yeah,
Like
in the Quran, this word also comes in the Quran.
No, but like knowledge and teaching are related.
Yeah.
How's the floating?
There may be some. Sometimes you cannot immediately relate that one, but some other time I can go into. But glorify, one tasbih. What we do, we count. Okay, so somewhere in the bag they will get the common. Okay, but here I just want to keep them. The word sabbaha, tasbih that we just subhanallah all the time. That comes from sabbaha, to glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now I want to say he glorifies. Okay, what I have to do? I have to put a ya in the beginning and put these harakat there. Okay, so that's this word right here. Yusabbihu. Exactly same sound. Yusabbihu means he glorifies. That's how Surah AlJumua starts. Yusabbihu. He, whoever that he is glorifying, he is doing tasbih, he is mentioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is what this Yusabbihu is. Same template, same pattern. Put a ya in the beginning. Instead of and lam mim, put these three letters and keep the same harakat. Yusabbihu. He glorifies. Okay? Now, so the meaning is, I'm just going to write down Yusabbihu. Okay? He glorifies. He is third person and mentioning the glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Something. Okay? Now I'm going to put a word ma after that. Okay? Let's see what that does. Okay? Ma and man are two words. Ma means whatever and man means whoever. These are the two Arabic words, come a lot in the Quran. Ma means whatever and man means whoever. So from the word English we can say whoever means someone who is alive, and whatever, it includes both living and non-living. Okay, so that's the difference in these. So what I'm going to do, the word yusabbihu means he glorifies. What I'm going to do, I put a ma after that. Okay, so what happens is I put whatever. Okay, so when I put whatever, it is going to cancel this word he, and the meaning will be whatever is there, do the tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, glorifies him. Whatever, man, angels, jinns, stones, mountains, wind, oceans, whatever is there which exists, they all are busy in doing the tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the meaning of yusabbihu ma. Okay? Yusabbihu ma. No, it has to come after. It can come before, but that brings the intensity of the statement, certainty is the statement. But the reason here, because we have other words which are coming after that. Okay? So we'll link to those, okay? Now, see the word I have one more word in the middle. Okay? What is that word? Okay? We have another rule we know about. Lam with a kasra means for. This is harf jar. Okay? And then the word is Allahu. Okay? This also means to or for, depending on the English. So if I combine these two, this is a harf jar, and what harf jar does, it looks at the noun, it looks at the last letter and changes into a kasra. Okay? And when you read them together, just get rid of the alif in between. Lillahi, that's the word in the Quran. Lillahi means to Allah or for Allah. So whatever is there is glorifying Allah or mentioning the glory of Allah, mentioning the tasbih, remembrance of Allah. That's the meaning of three words. Yusabbihu lillahi ma. Whatever is there is doing tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only the living creatures, non-living also. Okay, and in the Quran there are many places Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the mountains glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the wind and all those things. Okay? So this is the meaning so far. Yusabbihu lillahi ma, glorifies Allah, mentions the tasbih of Allah, whatever. Okay, so now let's go a little further. Okay. Now we just learned a word. Seen, Mim and Alif with the Hamza. Sama'un. The word we started with, Seen, Mim, Wow, and we made this word, and the meaning of this is sky. What is actually the meaning of this thing? Anything which is above the earth is called sky. Anything, it doesn't have to be that blue thing that we look at. Anything which is above. وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً. Allah says that we sent down water from the sky. Water doesn't come from the sky. Water comes a few hundred yards above the earth, the clouds. So anything above the earth is called sky. Sama'un. Okay? Sama'un is sky. Okay? I'm going to make the plural of this thing. Plural is this called samawatun. Samawatun. Always two dhammas at the end. And in translation, we use the word heavens, not skies, because we don't know. Sky is just our word. Okay? So this is heavens. Samawatun. Okay? Now put al before that. Al means the. So this will become the heavens. And from the Quran, we know there are sab'a samawat, 7 heavens. Okay? But we don't know anything above what we can see with our eyes here. Okay? So now when we put al, what happens? First thing al does, it removes one dhamma from the last letter. So this will become samawatu. Okay? Then when you pronounce, seen kills the sound of lam, so you pronounce as samawatu. Okay? So sound of lam is not pronounced, so it is written as that as samawatu. As samawatu. The heavens. As samawatu, the heavens. Now put a harf-e-jar fi. Fi means in. Okay? So it becomes in the heavens. Okay? But what does harf-e-jar do? It looks at the last letter and changes this to a kasra. Okay? Then comes the recitation. Combine this fi with this word, don't pronounce this alif here. Combine fi with sin, fis, samawati. Okay? So because we are not pronouncing the alif, we just replace this with a little swad, small swad sign, that means do not pronounce the alif. Fis samawati, in the heavens. Okay? Is glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whatsoever is in the heavens. Translation so far. Glorifies and glorifying to Allah whatever is in the heavens. Okay? Repetition of the same rules. Okay? The word alif, ra, and doad. Ardun. Ardun means earth. Ardun means earth. Okay? Or land. Okay? Now go again the same rule. First put al before that. It will become al-ardu, the earth. Then put a fi there, harf jar. It will change ardu to ardi. Okay? Ma means whatsoever or whatever is in the earth. And yusabbihu will apply to that also. So it's glorifying whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth. Everything is mentioning tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except some people don't. Other than that, everybody does.
What is the rule of shadda here? Like, ma fis samawati.
Okay, the rule is that half of the letters, alphabets are called Shamsi letters. Other half are called Qamari letters. Just take the Surah Al-Nas. So Lam, Al-Lam, and you put Noon. So Noon is a letter which kills the sound of Lam. That's called Shamsi letter. Any letter that kills the sound of Lam is called Shamsi. The letter which does not kill the sound of Lam is Qamari. And you know, if you start just naming the surah names, you will find out roughly all the names, all the letters. Al-Qamar, Surah Al-Qamar. Al is there, Qaf is there. So Lam, the Qaf did not kill Lam. Okay? Ad-Duha, Al-Duha. So Duat killed that, right? So the rule is that you have to memorize or figure out from the list which letters kill the sound of Lam, which don't. So here Sin kills and Ra kills, both of them kill.
Like Qamar and Shams.
Yeah, Shamsi, that's called the Shamsi.
No,
Actually, this Al-Ardi, right?
Yeah. So
Wama
Allah is
fil ardi. So here it didn't kill it. Ar is Ar.
it's Hamza.
Hamza,
And
yeah.
It's Hamza. It's
Hamza, yeah.
Qamari.
Al-Qamar, yeah.
Hamza.
Yeah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth is glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now look at this thing. These three letters, Mim, Lam and Kaf. Okay? If I make a word out of these, Malikun. Malikun. Important, pronounce it correctly. Malikun. This means king. Malikun means king. Okay. Mulk has the same root letters, means country. Malak means angel, but Malikun means king. Okay? Now what you want to do? Put al before that. The king. Okay. Same rule. Al will replace to the mas to 1. Okay. So what is the word now? Al-Maliku. Al-Maliku means the king. Al-Maliku, the king. Now what I'm going to do, take this word and make a badal of lillahi. No, badal means I'm going to replace this with Allah. Okay? So the word was lillahi. It has a kasra at the end, right? So I have to put a kasra, so it become al-maliki. Okay. The word was al-maliku. Why? Because I'm replacing, exchanging, and the rule is that you have to be exactly the same harakat there. So you can say, Yusabbihu lil maliki, glorifies the king, whatsoever is in the heavens and the earth. Glorifying to Allah, and then I'm replacing Allah by the king, because it's the same individual. So Maliku will become Maliki. Okay? Then the word that we know all the time, it's a name also, Quddus. Okay? Quddusun is the full word. This means holy, pure. Okay? So you put al, it becomes Al-Quddusu. Al, the Holy One. And only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can be that one. The pure, the Holy One. Al-Quddusu. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the word Al-Quddusu and make a badal of this word, Lillahi.
So why are you making the badal? Like,
No, there are, no. Okay, you want to repeat the sentence? Repeat the whole ayat. You say, Yusabbihu al-Maliku ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. Stop here. You have to repeat 4 times. One time, this tasbih is being done to Allah. The second time, tasbih is being done to al-Maliku. Third time, al-Quddusu. That time, these are all the same individuals. Allah only. So it's like you put something out of the parentheses and combine, rest of the statement applies. So it's a shortening but beautifying the statement. So, but the rule is that if you want to replace a word by another word, it has to follow the same rule. Okay? And actually you can say the word was al-Maliku, right? But this lam harf-jar was there, so this will make lil Maliku. Lil Maliki. Okay. Al-Quddusu was there. When you replace Allah, it become Lil Quddusi. Then the word Al-Azizu is there. Azizu means the most powerful. Okay. So it becomes Lil Azizi. So you can keep replacing, because these are all the names, Asma'ul Husna of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they belong to the same one. So then you can just replace, and instead of now mentioning same thing 5 times that is glorifying him, you just say Yusabbihu 1 time, and then you apply to all of them. And also to be inclusive, that whatsoever is in the heavens and the earth is glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's a very, very, very comprehensive statement, very, very detailed statement. Okay? So that is the first ayat. The meaning of Hakim is from Hikmat, wisdom. Al-Hakim is the one who is most wise. Al-Aziz is the one who is most powerful. Al is there. Al-Quddus, the most holy one.
Can I ask you, why so the Quddus is because you don't have the ya to intensify it because of the word itself. People cannot be more pure, or I don't know.
I think
Why?
It's a noun.
It becomes asma. If you put al, you cannot put al before.
Not ya,
Huh?
but the ya. You see, when you say Hafiz, so it's by the intensity, right?
Yes.
And Hakim. Quddus, so why it didn't
Yeah,
do-
there are different ways of making nadur, the noun.
Okay.
Okay, Qadasa are the root letters, and Quddus is the one who is most holy. And then you put al before that, it becomes more, the. Nobody else can be the, only one can be the.
How
Okay.
about this time that you repeated wama. So if I grammatically, if I didn't needed to repeat mafi, it would be correct also,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But that is for the
Somewhere in the Quran you will see that.
but
Somewhere
actually
you
it
will
would be
see
correct.
Fis samawati wal ardi.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's correct too, yeah.
Does
Okay.
change the meaning at all?
No, it's just explaining more. Okay,
So-
emphasizing it more actually, that nothing can be left either in the heavens or on the earth. So mentioning twice in there, it's bringing a little bit more emphasis. Yeah.
But it's not like optional to omit not reciting.
No, you cannot do that. This is the way it was revealed to Prophet ﷺ. You cannot touch that. Okay, you cannot modify or optimize the software code, you know. Okay, now a lot of repetition here. Let's just look at this next ayat. Huwa alladhi. Okay, now these new words. Huwa means he. Huwa means he, and whom is the plural. Third person they. We will need both of them.
The Islamic rule also meaning like perfection. So it has many meanings.
Yeah, there are quite a few meanings of every word here.
When you say glorify Allah, it's just doesn't give it.
No, I agree with you. The word in English are limited meanings, okay? So the best thing is that as we know the word tasbih or subhanallah, you know, as we understand, means just mentioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, repeating his name all the time. That's tasbih. Okay? So yeah, the English words do not, one word doesn't bring a complete meaning of the whole thing. But we just have to understand. So huwa and whom. Huwa means he and whom means they, plural. Okay? Then the word alladhi also means that. Alladhi. Okay, or it. So the word huwa alladhi, when they come together, the meaning will be he it is. He, we don't know right now who he it is. Or that's the one. That's the person. In any way you can say, you're pointing to someone and saying he is the one. Huwa alladhi, he it is. Okay? Then after that, these three letters, ba, ain and tha. This means to raise or to appoint. Ba'atha means, these are three vocabulary letters, and sometimes I'll give you more information how to look for these, the meaning of these three letters. But right now, as I said that, just take the meaning. Ba'atha means to raise. Okay. So if I, from the rule that we learned, the very first one, if I put three fathas, Ba'atha means he raised. Third person and past tense.
Is raised
Appointed.
raised from day?
No, appointed. This word has multiple meanings. On the day of judgment, it is used for that. People will be raised from death. It's the same word. But when it comes for bringing a messenger in the society or in a community, it means appointing. Okay? So, ba'atha, he raised. Okay, now, but the word before that is huwaladhi. Okay? So the meaning, we don't have to translate he, the meaning will be, it is him who raised. Huwa, he, it is who raised or who appointed. Okay? And where is this who pointing to? It's pointing to all these names here. Allah, Quddus, Al-Aziz. He is the one who has appointed. All the tasbih belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the one who has ba'atha, has appointed, has brought forth. Okay, what did he appoint? Okay, the word alif, mim are the root letters. And it has many words that we create. Ummun, mother, okay, and few other words, okay. But ummi, pronounce it this way, ummi, ummi. If you pronounce this word this way, shadda and a ya, ummi, and always last letter should have it to the mas. So it will be ummiyun. Ummiyun means the one who is not educated, unlettered. Ummiyun is the one who did not go to a regular school to learn something. He may have been given knowledge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but according to the society, he never went to learn something to somewhere. That's ummiyun. Okay? Now, this is one person. Its plural is ummiyuna. Okay? So this is one person, one unlettered, okay, one person. Its plural is ummiyuna. Ummiyuna is the plural. Those who are not educated. Okay? Now I'm going to put al before that, the simply, and then I'm going to put fi before that. Okay? Now, fi means in or among, okay? And it's a harf-jar. And harf-jar looks at the next word and makes some changes there, okay? And there was this dhamma, it made a kasra. So here what it does, it takes this waw and replaces by, if it's a plural, that's the rule. Okay? And I will just mention one, just if you are reading the Quran, somewhere you will see mu'minuna, plural, somewhere you will see mu'minina. What changed mu'minuna to mu'minina? Meaning does not change. There may be a word before that, harf-jar, which is changing. Somewhere you will see munafiquna, munafiqina. Okay? So when harf-jar comes in a plural, that is the effect. Waw goes away, ya comes in there. So, huwa alladhi, he it is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ba'atha, he has appointed, he has sent. Fil ummiyina. Ummiyina are the people of Makkah. Arabs. Unlettered people. Among those, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent a Rasul, a messenger.
The ummiyina, seems like there are three yas. One is shadda, this covers two.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a third.
Ummiyun, ummiyun, ummiyuna, ummiyun.
Yeah, so if you break this into individual
Uh-huh.
letters, there are three yas in
So that's the reason we put a second shadda there. Combine two of them together.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to
Ummi
understand.
means shadda on ya.
Yeah.
Okay. I put a shadda there, right? That's what you're saying?
No,
Ummi.
on the ya, ummiyun. Ummiyun.
Oh, yeah, here.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That's shadda. And the third one is there.
Ummiyun. So two shaddas here, two shaddas there, two sounds there, two sounds there.
Yeah,
Ummiyun. So two yas.
Is it 2 years or 3 years?
No, here it is two, it becomes one more here.
Yeah.
Because wow changed into a ya.
No, but we are, oh, I see. Yes. When there's a vav, then there's no third year.
Yes.
Okay.
And wow happened because fi did that.
Right.
Okay. So it is He, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who that everyone is glorifying Him. It is Him who has sent a messenger among the people who are not educated, unlettered people, people of Makkah. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning that. Okay, then the word is minhum. Min means among, and hum means them. So this becomes minhum, among them. Okay. Minhum means among them, among the people who are illiterate. Allah has appointed a messenger there, and there are few other minor details. I'll cover when they come later on, the more details of that. But so far, it is He, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has all these Asma'ul Husna. He is the one who has sent a messenger among those who are not well educated. Ummiyin. Okay?
So the min means from, right?
Huh?
Min is from.
Min has both meanings, among and from. So you have to use the proper English when it is being used. Otherwise, the English will be, sentence will be poor. English sentence will be poor.
But, I mean, fi will take the among thing. Fi is the among, and
Yes.
min is from them, which is the same.
The same people.
The same people.
Yes.
From the same people.
Yeah. From among them.
Yes, from among them.
So the meaning will be from among them. Okay. Now, after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Yatlu, Ta, Lam, and Waw. Okay? Even though we don't know the root letters, but we know these words. Tilawat is from the same. Reciting. Talaw means to recite. Okay? To recite. Ta, Lam, and Waw. Talawat is a recitation. Okay? We also learned that if we put a ya in the beginning, it brings the meaning of he and present tense. Okay? So yatlu means he recites or he is reciting. This messenger is reciting. Yatlu is reciting. Ummiyun.
It says here,
Uh-huh.
there's only one ya here. There's only one ya
In the singular.
Yeah, there's only one in the Quran. There's only one ya, not two.
When it comes as a single word, here it comes as a plural. Yeah. We can look after the class into that. Okay. So yatlu means he is reciting. So first job that this Rasul is doing, he is reading, he is reciting. Okay. Then the word is Allah plus whom. Okay, Allah means upon or to. Have to use proper English. Whom means them. Okay. When you write down these together, Allah and whom, okay, it will be pronounced alayhim, to them or upon them. He is reciting to them. Them means the ummiyin. Okay, so this messenger has been sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the first thing he is doing, that whatever he is receiving from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ayatihi. Okay, ayat is one sign or one revelation. Ayat is the plural. Okay, so let's just that.
Tilawah and Iqra.
Hmm?
What is the major difference?
Iqra is from reading.
Also recite, also.
Yeah, we say reciting. Qari is the one who is reciting. Okay, recite means maybe speaking and reciting with a good rhythm or just. Okay, tilawat here. Okay, so ayatun. Okay. One revelation, one verse. Its plural is ayatun. Ayatun. The difference is that this ya with the fatha and this ya becomes with the alif. Ya, ayat. Ayatun, verses. Revelation verses. Okay. Who means his. He. Okay. And this is pointing to Allah. And we will later on, this will come in more repetition. I'll do further breakdown because I want to finish this ayat. So ayatihi means his verses, his revelations. His is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this messenger is reading or reciting the verses or the revelation of him. Him is pointing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. So it's very important to separate out the pronouns here. Whom, the alayhim is pointing to the ummiyin, but who here is pointing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this Rasul, this messenger is reciting the verses of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his. Okay. Now, good thing is that Quran has so much repetition that once you learn one rule, okay, so we just learned these three letters, Sin, Ba, and Ha. And then we said if we put a shadda on the middle letter, it becomes Sabbaha. And when we want to make the present tense, third person, we put a ya in the beginning. Okay. And keep these three. Yo sabbihu. This is what the first word is here. Yo sabbihu. This brings the meaning of he, third person, and present tense. He glorifies, or he does tasbih. So just again the rule, the repetition of the rule. You start with three letters and put a shut down the middle letter. It becomes four, actually it's a 4 letters now. Because ba is coming twice, the middle letter is coming twice. Then whatever the meaning is that, when you put a ya in the beginning, it brings the meaning of third person he and present tense. So yusabbihu, he glorifies. Yu'allimu, he teaches. Okay? Za, kaf, and ya. Okay? This means to make pure. za, kaf. Zakat is from the same word. Zakat purifies your wealth. Okay. When I put a shadda here, okay, and I put a ya in the beginning, so this word is made of two parts. You zakki plus whom. So when I put a ya in the beginning, it brings the meaning of he purifies. He is the messenger. He purifies. Whom means them. Them are the people. Ummiyin. So the second job of the Prophet is that, first job is he is reciting his ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yatlu alayhim ayatihi. And the second thing, wow means and. And the third thing is he is purifying them. He is taking their evil activities out of their life. So they are become pure in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You had a question?
So is there a word without shadda?
Zakatun, yeah. See, the thing is that, remember in the beginning I said alama and allama. When you go into the shadda in the middle letter, it becomes two people. Activity of two people. This is the activity of two people. One is making the other one pure. Just like one person is teaching the person who is not educated. So the rule, the way the words are defined here in the language, that when you bring a middle letter twice, first of all, it becomes the activity of two people. Here you can purify yourself, one person. Okay? But here, someone is doing to somebody else. So Yuzakki, he is purifying the Prophet ﷺ by his teaching, removing the evil deeds that they were involved in, and they're becoming pure in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Ummiyin, the Mushrikeen, the Munafiqeen are returning now to the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Yuzakki him. Second thing, this word we just learned that, Yu'allimu, he teaches. Whom? Them. So next thing, what is he doing? He's teaching them. Teaching them Quran, teaching them the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. So it's a repetition. Say that the words are repeating and how it is formatting itself. Okay. Now again, continue reading. You will start making sense of the sentence yourself. What is he teaching them? What is the word after that? Al-Kitab. So he's yu'allimu, he's teaching them the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? He is teaching them the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's the next activity he's doing. And continue. Hikmat. Hikmat is wisdom. Okay? And he's teaching them wisdom too.
Wisdom means explaining.
Understanding, maturity, okay? How to analyze things in the proper way, to ponder upon, the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and return to Him. All these things are wisdoms that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants to someone. Okay? So this is the job of the Prophet. One after another, in that order, he's doing that. Very interestingly, in one place, Ibrahim alayhi salam made a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, send among them a messenger who will teach them the book and he will purify them. Ibrahim alayhi salam reversed the order here. He made a dua when he made Kaaba. after making Kaaba, he raised his hand and made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "O Allah, send a messenger among them, among these people, who will teach them, yu'allim, and he will purify them." In the next few ayats later, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed an ayat where he reversed these two orders. This is the same way. Purification has to happen first before you can learn anything. Before you can learn the book of Allah. Your heart has to be purified from shirk, from kufr, from anything else, from malice, from jealousy, from anything else. If the heart is still there, you can be a scholar, PhD of Quran, won't help. So the rule of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that Prophet is doing in this order. He is purifying them. He is taking their false ideas and thoughts out of their mind. And then he is presenting them the book and they will accept it now. And there have been scholars in Western world who are the scholars of the Quran, but they remained on their path, on their way. But then those who first became the believers and then learned the book of Allah, they became big scholars. Okay. There are many, in the name, there are even the translations are there, which are done by non-Muslims. Powerful translations, but they themselves could not guide them. Okay. So the order is important, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Prophet, this is the way you have to do. And that's the way he is doing this, one thing at a time. And when they have purified their shirk and kufr from their heart, then he is teaching them two things, not one. Yu'allimu, he is teaching them al-kitab. Al means the Quran. It is not any kitab anymore. It is not kitabun. It is al-kitab, the book. And there is one book, al-Quran. And then he is teaching them hikmat. Hikmat is wisdom. Okay. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that wa in kanu min qablu. So let's just break down the last few words, and these things will come in the next ayats a lot, and we'll learn more. Kaf, Waw, and Noon. This means to be. To be. In the rule, Kanu means they were. Okay. And these words we'll do break down later, but the grammar of to be is, was, he, all those things will be. So Kaf, Waw, Noon to be. Kanu means, and we write an alif which don't pronounce with a little circle. They were. Okay.
And then what do you have? L?
Kanu. This one?
Yeah.
No, this is Noon. This is like this.
Thanks.
Kanu.
Thank you.
Okay. Kana means he was. Kanu means they were. Wow makes it plural. They were. These people were. Okay. Now also, this word in, there is a word inna. Inna means surely. Few places in the Quran this word comes in a truncated short form. In. So the meaning is surely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying this. Definitely they were, these people, Ummiyin, before the Quran was and the messenger came, they were min qabl. Qabl means before coming to the Prophet, of the Prophet ﷺ. These people were before. Okay.
So just from writing point of view, like in, and then earlier there's ayatihi, the Hamza. sometimes we are writing that Hamza on top of Alif or on bottom of Alif or on the side.
Okay, so this in this thing here in Urdu is same as this thing. Okay, in Arabic. Okay, this thing is same as this thing. Okay, and the third one, this one, is same as this one. So you can just replace those, right? But Hamza before that is totally different thing. Hamza before, okay, so this is the way it is. If there are two alifs, you can write down them this or this. There are three ways of writing it. So this is different than this. This is actual Hamza. Okay, this is called Hamzatul Asl, which is actually alif. Okay, so that is what the difference is. Okay, so ayat is this thing, two alifs.
So is it wrong to write it, the one on the bottom, but writing on the top? But
No. This has only one alif here, right?
Yeah.
This is two alifs here.
No, he's
So
asking
one of
about
them-
the
The
Hamza.
middle one, yeah.
He's asking about the Hamza. Should we write the Hamza in the bottom or on the top with the kasra underneath it?
That's right.
Is that right?
It's written both ways.
Okay.
Yeah, it is in both ways in the
The
Quran.
actual one should be Hamza in the
It
bottom.
should be at the bottom, but you will see that in the
But
Uthmani
sometimes-
script, it is sound is important under there. Yeah. Okay, so let me continue. Finish this one. The word Dawad, Lam, and Lam. Okay, this means to go astray or to go wrong or error, to go in error. Okay, dalala, misguidance, error, going wrong. Dalin, the word that we read all the time in the Surah Fatiha, is the plural of those people who have gone wrong. So these are the root letters: Dad, Lam, and Lam. The noun is dalun, dalalun actually. So you can write down this way, dalalun, or this alif can be written as a short alif and write down this way. The same thing. You can write down with a long alif and a short alif. Dalalun means error, going wrong. So this, going astray. And dalin are those people who go wrong, who are gone astray. But this is the noun. Activity. Dalalun, astray, wrong, error. Okay. So now we are going to put fi before that. Fi means in error. Okay. And fi is a harf jar. Harf jar, what it does, it takes two dhammas and put under there, two kasras. Fi dalalin, in error, in misguidance, on the wrong path, in error. Now we're going to learn one more word. This lam with a fatha. This lam with a fatha is called harf-e-taqeed or lam-e-taqeed. Lam is written as lam. Taqeed means to emphasize. Okay? And when you emphasize, you say surely. If you want to put emphasis on a word, You say definitely, surely. So the meaning of this lam is surely. Definitely, without any doubt. That is called lam-e-tawqeed. It comes in the Quran and lot, and we'll see. So this lam is saying that definitely they were in the error. All these people were definitely wrong before the messenger came to them. They were definitely in misguided state. Lafi, lam, that is called lam-e-tawqeed, lam of emphasis. This lam is not same as this lam here. That means for, and it has a kasra under there. This has a fatah. Okay. Lafi, definitely in the error. Okay. Now, the last word here is ba, ya, and noon. And the noun is mubin, and full word is always mubinun.
Mim, not ba. Mim. The top one. Mim. Not ba. Mim.
Moving.
Mubin. Not bubin. Mubin. The top one.
In this one?
Yeah. Ba. Ba
No,
is the ba.
no, these are the root letters. Bayyan,
Oh, okay.
but the word bayyana, Surah al-Bayyana.
I see. Oh, I see.
Yeah, this is the meme we are putting in there
Oh, I see.
to make a word.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But the root letters are these three. Okay? Mubinun means clear. This is a name also. Mubin means something which is very clear. Surah al-Bayyana is a very clear surah. But the root letters are ba, ya, and noon, which also means in between, but bayyan means to make it clear. So mubin is something very clear. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that their misguidance was not something simple, it was a very clear misguidance. Was open. Definitely these people before the Prophet came were completely in error and wrong and misguidance.
So is it related to the word bang?
Bain, yeah, in between. Yeah. Those are the root letters. Then when you put a shadda, it becomes bayyan. Bayyan means to clarify something. To make it, Surah al-Bayyana means something which is made clear. Okay? And the word mubin is come from bayyan. Okay? So when you put a meme, there are the rules, and we'll come across some of those. But the word error and mubin means clear error. Without any doubt, these people were wrong. They were completely misguided. Okay? And also notice that the word is mubinun. Okay? Always with the two dhammas. But this is coming as an adjective of the word before that. When a noun and adjective come together, they have to follow. Okay? So mubinun will become mubinin because the lin is there. Okay? And the last thing that is that when you recite lam and mim together, lam of dalalin will be pronounced as dalalim with the mim. Dalalim mubinin. Okay? And when you stop, you will pronounce mubin, not mubinin. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the Prophet and the people. This Prophet came in, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what is he doing? He is doing the following things with them. Okay? Teaching them. Okay? And ummiyin. And people can be educated in the worldly matters, but if they are not following the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are ummiyin, they are illiterate. Okay? So there were Arabs were poets, Arabs were scholars, and they had very good Fusha language, but what good was that? They're committing shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are the activities that Prophet ﷺ did that, okay? So inshallah we'll continue in the Surah AlJumua. Okay? We'll stop here.